The year was 2384. The stars hung silently over Earth's edge, as they always had. But today something had changed. In Earth's Deep Space Command Center, alarms rang out softly. One of the long-range sensors had detected a ship entering human space far beyond where any ship should be. "Unidentified vessel in Sector 9, said Officer Kira Dalen, staring at her screen. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were wide. She tapped a few keys, trying to verify the signal. Then the system responded with a quiet beep. "Vessel identified. HSS Aegis status. Lost. Declared destroyed." Year 2374. Everyone in the control room froze. "That can't be right," whispered Commander Rhodes. "The Aegis vanished 10 years ago." The room came to life. Officers scrambled to confirm the signal. Others opened communication lines. The ship was moving slowly, approaching the outer defense zone. Rhodes stepped forward. "Send a secure hail. Get me visual." A moment later, the screen lit up with static. Then a face appeared, older than they remembered but unmistakable. "This is Commander William Carter of the Aegis," the man said. His voice was calm, firm, requesting permission to dock at Earth Orbital Station. "We bring a warning. It concerns the survival of this galaxy." Commander Rhodes stared at the screen in silence. Carter looked older. His face was pale, his beard gray, but his eyes were still sharp, focused. Behind him stood members of his crew. They looked tired, changed. The air around them felt heavy. "What happened to your ship, Commander?" Rhodes asked. Carter paused. "That's a long story. One I'll tell in full. But right now you need to know this. Something is coming. A force we cannot fight with weapons alone." Rhodes didn't respond right away. He turned to his team. "Prepare a security escort. Give them permission to dock. But keep shields up. We don't know what that ship is anymore." The Aegis moved silently toward the station. From a distance it looked like a shadow gliding across the stars. As it approached, the damage and changes became clearer. Parts of the hull were covered in smooth black metal. It shimmered like oil, and moved slightly, as if breathing. Strange symbols glowed faintly along the edges. Nothing like this had ever been seen on a human ship. On board, Commander Carter stood at the bridge, staring at Earth in the distance. 10 years ago, he had left this place full of hope and mission pride. Now, he returned a different man, with a different ship. Lieutenant Arden stepped beside him. "Sir, Earth Command is allowing us to dock. But they don't trust us." "I wouldn't either," Carter said quietly. The bridge fell silent. The ship docked with a hiss. The airlock door opened slowly. Armed guards waited in formation. Commander Carter stepped out first, standing tall. Behind him his crew followed, their expressions serious. One of the security officers stepped forward. "You and your crew will be escorted for medical checks and questioning." Carter nodded. "Understood. But someone needs to hear what we have to say. We saw what's coming." The guard hesitated. "What is it?" Carter looked him in the eyes. His voice was low but clear. "He calls himself the Obliterator, and he's already destroyed 2 star systems. He's heading this way." The guard's eyes narrowed. He gave a slow nod and motioned them forward. As Carter and his crew walked down the corridor toward the unknown, he thought about what they had been through, what they had lost, and what they might still have to give. He had returned. But he was no longer just a man with a mission. He was the only one who had seen the storm coming, and now it was almost here. Commander William Carter sat alone in a cold white room deep inside Earth Orbital Station. The silence was heavy. A soft hum from the wall panels was the only sound. He had been here for 3 hours, waiting, thinking. The door finally slid open. 2 officers entered, one from Earth Command, the other from security. Behind them, a quiet medical drone hovered. "Commander Carter," the officer said. "I'm Director Elena Miles. This is Colonel Reed. We need answers. Start from the beginning." Carter nodded. He leaned forward, his voice steady and slow. 10 years ago, the Aegis was assigned to chart unknown sectors beyond the outer rim. The mission was simple: explore, observe, report. Nothing unusual for a deep space crew. He paused, his hands clenched slightly. On day 94, we detected a strange gravitational pulse. It wasn't natural. It pulled us toward an unmarked system, completely dark. No sun, no planets, just emptiness. Director Miles leaned in. You disappeared shortly after. What happened? We followed the signal, Carter continued. Before we could turn back, a rift opened, a wormhole. It swallowed us. There was no time to escape. Carter closed his eyes for a moment. When we came out on the other side, we weren't in our galaxy anymore. We had entered a void. Silent, frozen. A graveyard of ships from other civilizations, long dead. Colonel Reed frowned. You're saying other life forms were there? Yes, Carter said firmly. But not alive, just ruins. Thousands of them, all destroyed, as if something had hunted them down. We began repairs and searched for answers. He reached into his uniform pocket and placed a small metal chip on the table. That's when we found this. A fragment of alien memory storage. We translated what we could. The officers leaned closer. The chip glowed faintly with strange symbols. Carter continued. It told of a being once mortal, now something else. It went by many names, but the last race to face him called him the Obliterator. A mind fused with ancient weaponry, pure destruction. He wipes out entire civilizations. Director Miles narrowed her eyes. You expect us to believe this? Carter leaned back. You don't have to. Just check the records from Colony Vega 6. 2 weeks ago, it went dark. Over 1 million people gone. No debris, no signals. Just like the others we saw in that void. Reed's face turned grim. We got the report yesterday. No survivors, no signs of an attack. It wasn't an attack, Carter said quietly. It was erasure. He doesn't invade. He deletes. Director Miles exchanged a glance with Reed. Tell us about your ship, she said. It's changed. Carter nodded slowly. The Aegis was damaged. We had no way back. In the void, we found a derelict alien structure. It had a living core, some kind of ancient machine intelligence. It let us connect. Rebuilt parts of the Aegis using its own systems. Straight, you let alien tech merge with your ship. Reed said sharply. It was the only way we survived. Ulf. The Aegis became more than a machine. It's intelligent now. Aware. But still under control. Mostly. Mostly. Miles asked. Carter hesitated. It wants to help. But it remembers what destroyed its creators. And it fears him. Straighter. The room was silent again. Finally, Miles spoke. You'll remain under observation. Your crew too. The ship is being scanned. If there's a threat, we will neutralize it. You don't have time, Carter warned. The Obliterator is already moving. He's not far. She stood. We'll prepare. That will be all for now. As the officers left, Carter sat back. His thoughts drifted to the faces of the lost crew members, the endless dark, and the voice of the alien machine that had once whispered in his mind. He is coming, Carter whispered to himself. I know. 3 days had passed since the Aegis returned. Earth Command still held Commander William Carter and his crew in orbit, under strict watch. No one trusted the ship or its story, but deep in space, something moved. It started as a silence. Colony ships near the border stopped transmitting. Patrol drones vanished. Then a message arrived from Station Lysar 3, broken, full of static. This is Commander Brend of Lysar. Massive structure. No warning. Everything turning dark. The signal ended. Earth Command scrambled. Long-range satellites confirmed the worst. Lysar 3 was gone. No debris. No signs of life. The colony orbiting a stable star had simply vanished. Director Miles called an emergency meeting. Carter was brought in under heavy guard. She faced him across the table. Lysar 3 has been destroyed. We have no explanation. Is this your Obliterator? Carter nodded slowly. Yes, it's him. He's close now. That's how he works. Fast, clean, complete destruction. No survivors. No noise. Colonel Reed leaned forward. What is he? A ship? A person? He was a man, Carter said. A scientist. His name was Dr. Cale Varn. He studied ancient alien tech before Earth banned all such research. 10 years ago he disappeared, just like us. We believe he found what we found, but he went further. Reed frowned. You knew him. He was my mentor, Carter said. He taught me everything I know about deep space systems, but he believed the universe was broken. He wanted to fix it, or end it. Carter paused. His voice grew colder. In the void he merged with alien war technology. He allowed it to take over his body, his mind. He became the obliterator. Miles asked, and he's coming here? Carter nodded. Not to invade, to erase. He believes life is flawed, that only silence is pure. He won't stop unless we stop him. Reed crossed his arms. Why would he spare you? He tried to reach us, Carter said. He sent visions through the alien systems we touched. Warnings, offers. He wanted us to join him. Miles looked at him carefully. And did you consider it? Carter's jaw tightened. No, but not everyone on my crew agreed. A silence followed. The air grew heavier. Reed stepped away to take a private call. Moments later he returned, face pale. A civilian cargo ship, Starflower, has just been found adrift. No crew, no systems, floating between Vega and Lysar space. He threw a photo onto the screen. The ship's hull was clean, untouched, but hollow. Every living thing inside had vanished. No blast marks, no breach, just gone, Reed said. Miles looked to Carter. Can your ship stop this thing? Carter took a deep breath. Maybe, but the Aegis isn't what it used to be. It's changed. It's powerful, but not stable. The alien tech inside reacts to threats. If we push it too far, it could do more harm than good. Then it's a risk, Miles said. We may have to take. Reed added. You'll lead the mission, Carter. But if your ship becomes a threat, we shut it down. Carter stood slowly. Understood. But remember this. He won't stop at Lysar. Earth is next. Outside, the stars gleamed like quiet eyes. Somewhere in that endless dark, the obliterator moved closer. Carter left the room, heart heavy. The ghosts of his past were now shadows over the present, and the galaxy's end might come at the hands of the man he once admired. The Aegis had been moved to a secure military dock just above Earth. Security drones floated outside its hull. Inside, the crew walked its silent corridors. Uneasy. The ship was quiet. Not just still, but listening. It felt alive. Commander William Carter stood on the bridge, staring out at the planet below. His reflection in the glass looked older than he remembered. He didn't know if it was the years or the weight of what was coming. Lieutenant Arden entered quietly. Earth Command has approved the mission. We leave in 12 hours. Carter nodded. Good. We'll intercept the obliterator before he reaches the core colonies. Arden hesitated. There's something else. Vega's worried. Carter turned. About what? She thinks the ship is changing again. Carter said nothing. Later in the crew quarters, Lieutenant Vega stood before a small group of crew members. Her voice was low but tense. I don't trust this ship, she said. It's not fully under our control. And Carter, he's keeping things from us. We wouldn't be alive without the alien tech, someone replied. That doesn't mean it's safe, Vega said. We don't know what it's doing to us, or what it wants. A few nodded in agreement. Back on the bridge, Carter was reviewing sensor logs when the ship's interface activated on its own. The glowing alien symbols appeared on the screen, shifting slowly. Then a voice, calm and synthetic, spoke from the ship's speakers. The destroyer nears. You are not ready. Carter narrowed his eyes. Define ready. Your structure is weak. Your unity is broken. Carter stared at the console. Then help us. I cannot help what cannot help itself. The symbols vanished. The screen returned to normal. A moment later, Arden rushed in. We've got a problem. Carter followed him to the engine core. The alien tech pulsed brighter than usual. Strange patterns moved across the walls. The ship's systems are running updates we didn't authorize, Arden said. It's evolving again. Carter placed a hand on the console. The surface was warm, like skin. He whispered, "Don't do this now. Stay with us." Suddenly, an alarm blared. Weapons systems activated. Defense shields went up. "What's it doing?" Arden shouted. Carter turned to the crew. "It thinks we're under threat. From ourselves." Later in a private meeting room, Carter gathered his senior officers. "We need to finish this mission before the ship loses trust in us completely," he said. "It's alive, but afraid. And that fear makes it dangerous." Vega stood. "I don't think you're fit to lead this mission. We need someone Earth Command trusts. Someone fully human." Carter's eyes met hers. "You think I'm not? You brought us into this. You merged us with alien tech. You made the choice without our vote." He didn't answer. The room was quiet. Then Arden spoke. "The only reason we're still breathing is because of him. I don't care if the ship has extra pieces. It's still ours. He's still our commander." Vega stepped back, quiet but angry. "Then let's hope you're both right." Tension remained thick as they returned to duty. Carter walked the corridor alone. Later that night, passing walls that seemed to pulse with energy, he whispered, "I know you're listening. Just hold together a little longer." The ship responded with silence. But deep within the alien systems, a fail-safe flickered to life. One designed to protect the galaxy from ultimate threats, including the Aegis itself if needed. Carter didn't know it yet, but time was running out. The stars looked cold and distant as the Aegis left Earth's orbit. Its new mission, intercept the Obliterator before he reached the core colonies. Commander William Carter stood on the bridge. His eyes were fixed on the main display. The course was set toward the last known location of the destroyed Lysar 3 station. ETA, 6 hours. Lieutenant Arden reported. Carter nodded. The crew worked in silence. The mood was tense. Everyone felt it, the weight of what was coming. As the Aegis entered deep space, the alien systems hummed louder than before. The ship felt alert, like it could sense what waited ahead. Vega sat at the weapons console, still wary of both the ship and its commander. She didn't speak unless necessary. Suddenly, the ship's AI voice broke the silence. "Hostile presence detected. One object approaching fast." "Visual," Carter ordered. The screen lit up with the image of a massive vessel, black and angular. It didn't reflect light. It looked like a moving shadow, swallowing everything in its path. "It's him," Carter said. "The Obliterator." The enemy ship stopped in front of them, floating still. No weapons fired. No signals sent. Just silence. Then the Aegis shook. "He's trying to connect," Arden said. "Some kind of data link. It's bypassing our filters." Carter stepped forward. "Let it through." The crew looked at him in disbelief. "He wants to talk," Carter said. "Let him." The ship's lights dimmed. The screen faded to black. Then a face appeared. Not fully human. A man but changed. His skin was gray. His eyes glowing faint blue. Machines covered parts of his head. His voice was calm but hollow. "William, you made it back." "Kale," Carter said. "Or what's left of you. More than you ever understood. I saw what this galaxy is. A cycle of failure, pain and decay. I ended it. You destroyed entire worlds. I freed them." Carter's voice tightened. "You're not saving anyone. You're running from your own failure." The screen flickered. "You brought alien tech into your ship. You let it change. You see the truth now. Join me. Help me bring silence to this chaos." Carter looked around the bridge. His crew was watching, listening. Some looked confused, others afraid. "No," Carter said. "We came back to fight, not to erase." The face vanished. The screen flashed red. "Then you will end with them." The enemy ship launched its first wave. Energy blasts streaked toward the Aegis. Carter shouted, "Evasive. Shields up." The Aegis responded with smooth, almost living movement. Its alien systems moved faster than human reaction time. It dodged and fired back with blinding precision. "Direct hit," Vega called. "But it's still coming. Keep pressure on, Carter said. Focus fire on its core. The battle raged across the empty stars. The Aegis was powerful, more than it had ever been. But the Obliterator's ship was stronger, older, designed for only one purpose: destruction. Suddenly, the Aegis's AI spoke. Warning: core instability detected. Alien systems nearing limit. Carter's hands gripped the console. Divert power. Keep control. Fail-safe trigger at 92%. If power overload continues, auto-destruction will begin. Carter turned to Arden. We're running out of time. I can try to bypass the fail-safe, Arden said, but we'll need to shut down part of the alien systems. If we do that, we lose half our defense. Vega warned. Carter made a choice. Prepare boarding team. I'm going in. The crew stared. You can't board that ship alone, Arden said. I have to, Carter said. He's not just a machine. He's still Kale. And if there's anything human left in him, I need to face it myself. Arden nodded slowly. Then I'm going with you. Minutes later, Carter and Arden launched a small shuttle under heavy cover fire. They raced toward the Obliterator's ship, flying through the chaos of war. The Aegis kept fighting. Its crew held the line, buying time. As the shuttle landed inside the enemy vessel, Carter stepped out into the darkness. Cold air, metal floors, silence. He whispered, Kale, I'm here. Somewhere deep inside. The destroyer waited. Commander William Carter moved through the dark corridors of the Obliterator's ship. The walls were smooth and black, lit only by dim blue lights that pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. The air was thin, cold, silent. Lieutenant Arden followed close behind, his weapon ready. This place feels dead, Arden whispered. No, Carter said quietly. It's listening. They walked deeper into the ship. There were no guards, no machines, no signs of life. Only the silence and the sound of their own boots on the metal floor. Finally, a large chamber opened before them. At its center stood a raised platform. On it was a tall figure, motionless, half man, half machine. The Obliterator. William, he said without turning. His voice echoed through the room. I knew you would come. Carter stepped forward. You've killed millions. You have to stop this. The Obliterator turned slowly. His face was pale, his eyes glowing. Metal ran across his skin, pulsing like veins. I freed them, he said. They were trapped in weakness, in fear. I gave them peace. That's not peace, Carter replied. It's death. The Obliterator moved closer. You saw the void, same as I did. Civilizations rise and fall. They fight, destroy, repeat. There is no future in chaos. There's always a future, Carter said. We build it, we change. That's what makes us human. The Obliterator paused. You still believe in that old lie? Carter looked him in the eyes. Because it's true. A moment of silence passed between them. Then the Obliterator raised his hand. Join me, one final time. We can end the suffering together. Carter stepped back. I didn't come here to join you. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small device. A control trigger, linked to the Aegis's alien core. If I press this, Carter said, the fail-safe activates. It will destroy both our ships. You, me, everything within 50 light-years. The Obliterator stared at him. You would die to stop me. Yes, Carter said. If that's what it takes. Arden moved to cover him. The tension in the room grew thick. Then the Obliterator looked away. For a second something flickered in his expression. Regret, perhaps. I didn't want this, he said. I just wanted the pain to end. Carter lowered the trigger slightly. Then help me stop it. Let us live. Let them live. The Obliterator looked up again. You believe they deserve another chance? I do, Carter said. Another long pause. Then slowly the Obliterator turned to the platform behind him. He touched it. A low hum filled the air. The ship began to shake. What's he doing? Arden asked. The Obliterator spoke softly. I've deactivated my core. The ship will collapse into itself. You need to go. Carter stepped forward. Come with us. The obliterator shook his head. There's nothing left of me to save. The shaking grew stronger. Thank you, Carter said. The obliterator gave one final look. Carter and Arden ran back through the corridor. They reached the shuttle and launched just as the enemy ship began to fold in on itself. Light poured from its core. The black vessel collapsed in silence, then vanished. From a distance, the crew of the Aegis watched as the enemy disappeared into nothing. On the bridge, Vega breathed out. They made it. The shuttle docked. Carter and Arden stepped out, faces pale, eyes tired. It's over, Carter said. The alien systems aboard the Aegis responded with a soft hum, calm, peaceful. No threat detected. No danger ahead. They had survived. The Aegis floated in orbit above Earth. The stars were calm again. The battle was over. The obliterator was gone. Commander William Carter stood on the bridge, looking out the main window. The ship was quiet, but not empty. It felt alive, watching, waiting. Reports came in from Earth Command. The threat was confirmed, neutralized. The colonies were safe. For now. Lieutenant Arden stepped beside Carter. Still no sign of the enemy ship. It's gone, like it never existed. Carter nodded. That's how he wanted it. No legacy, no remains. Vega entered the bridge. She walked up to Carter and looked him in the eye. I misjudged you, she said. And the ship, I was wrong. Carter gave a small nod. You did what you thought was right. You kept the crew together. She looked around. What happens now? Carter looked at the star map slowly moving across the display. We leave. Arden turned. Leave? After all this? Yes, Carter said. The Aegis isn't just a ship anymore. It's part of something greater, something we don't fully understand. If it stays here, others will try to control it. Or worse, copy it. Vega asked. And where will you go? Out there, Carter said, pointing to the unknown regions of the galaxy. To learn, to protect, to make sure what happened with Kale never happens again. The crew stood silently, letting the idea sink in. None of them had truly returned from the void, not in the way Earth expected. Later that day, Carter recorded a final message to Earth Command. This is Commander William Carter, of the Aegis. The threat is gone, but others may come. We're taking the Aegis beyond known space, not as deserters, but as guardians. We've changed. But we've stayed human, and that's enough. The ship disengaged from the docking bay. The engines lit up, glowing with a soft blue light. The alien systems pulsed gently, in sync with the ship's core. On the bridge, Carter sat in the command chair. Set course for the edge, he said. Aye, Commander, Arden replied. The Aegis turned slowly, then accelerated into the darkness, leaving Earth behind. No one spoke, no one needed to. They were explorers again, survivors, watchers of the stars. As the ship disappeared into the black, a quiet peace settled across the galaxy. For now, it was safe.